hold on. This one.
Go.
Hit the music. Be on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, have we got a hot show for you tonight? Live from 438 Massachusetts Avenue, courtesy of Cambridge Community Television. You saw them sneaking into Bohemian Rhapsody at Fresh Pond Circle, and they're here for you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Anything Goes with Larry and Ray. All right.
Wow. Look at this.
All right.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
beautiful.
studio audience.
That's right. We have a
talk about
fantastic
that
studio audience, do
in
we
a
not?
minute. We certainly do.
All right.
And by the way, this
Yeah.
rug, this new
Yes.
rug, really
Yeah.
kind of ties the room
It
together.
does kind of
not?
tie the room together.
Yeah, just notice
If you
it.
saw The Big Lebowski, perhaps you'd catch the connection, but I know you don't really necessarily, you haven't seen The Big
There's our
Lebowski.
special guest. Have you seen
That
the
one you
Big
saw.
Lebowski?
Excellent. All right, we're going to be talking to our studio audience from time to time. So, this is our 10th show.
10th show. What are we?
Right.
Season 2,
Season
episode.
2, episode 4.
That's pretty good. They said it would never last more than an episode.
There you go.
Our
So,
viewership's gone up from like 11 to 16, I heard.
I think so. Maybe
Pretty-
18.
18, including you guys.
And with 90 more shows, we can go into syndication.
Damn right. Maybe they'll start
Right.
paying us.
Then we can quit our jobs.
Right. We might have to
Right.
run out every 5 minutes to feed the meter tonight, even though it's Sunday. That's how they treat us.
I know.
So what's going on?
Well,
haven't seen you in a while on the
Did you
show
go to
anyway.
the CCTV anniversary party between the last show and this show?
Yes, we did.
Right?
The 30th CCTV, the very
Right.
cable show that's broadcasting. now.
Because I have a little bit of a gripe. I know, we have a member of the executive board here, but it was shocking that they didn't ask us to host the event. Isn't that
I know.
correct?
Well, when we're not very popular and the word hasn't been put out. the
Well, you know
way
what it
should.
is? The president apparently doesn't know who we are.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's our job.
So,
we got to put our name.
I think
out
we
there.
need a marketer.
We do. Anybody out there who's good at marketing, come on board.
Yeah, somebody, or at least somebody that has mugs, maybe with our picture on it, something like that.
Right. In fact,
to
we
get the
do
word
have
out.
Anything Goes with Larry and Ray mugs that will debut on the
Yeah,
next show.
yeah.
With your lovely dog Chen, which is part of the logo.
That's true. That's true.
We have. Speaking
So,
of
where do you
Chen,
wanna start?
well, had a great Thanksgiving with you. I just want to
That's
put that
true,
out
that's
there.
true.
I went to Larry's house for Thanksgiving, and once again, you outdid yourself with the bird. Fantastic.
Yeah, I
it was the
cooked-
most succulent bird.
It only took me 3 hours to cook a bird that normally takes 4 hours and 20 minutes.
How about that?
Because my oven defies the laws of physics.
It really does.
Right.
And it was
It's like
really
a magic oven,
It
right?
really is.
Which goes very well with my magic carpet.
Really does. And your
Yeah.
magic family.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your
It's
imaginary
perfect.
family. Yeah. But it
But
was really good.
you brought some delicious.
I brought, well, first of all, your
things.
brother Jeff brought like 12 kinds of,
Yeah.
what was it, gourd, squash,
He
baked
brought,
potato,
three
sweet
different
potato.
kinds of sweet potato. There was a purple, there was a yellow, and there was an orange.
I think there was actually a green sweet potato, but I don't think it was supposed to be green. But hey, who am I to say? But it was good. He did a great job. Just kidding about the green sweet
Yeah.
potato. Had a good time, and I brought a dessert.
Yes, you did.
Do you want to tell us about
Well,
the very dessert I brought?
Well, he's actually become a French baker, even
Right.
though his name is Castagnola.
And I don't speak
He's
French.
crossed the border into France.
Right,
He has
emotionally.
a French cookbook that's in French.
Totally in French.
Yet his
Do you guys speak
neighbor-
French at all?
No.
Okay, the show is, we got 20 minutes
Apparently
left
he
in the
does.
show.
Apparently he does.
We?
So his neighbor actually translated the French.
Right, the great
Cookbook.
Drayton Wilson Freeman, who was on our very first show.
He was on our very first show.
Yeah.
And
so he translates the cookbook for me. I'm there and I prepare the gâteau, and it comes out pretty
it
well.
was a
actually.
gâteau. It was a coconut gâteau.
Which is just
Do
French
you like
for a little
coconut?
cake.
Not so much.
Not everybody likes
Yeah,
coconut.
a lot of people don't
apparently.
like. It's funny
Yeah.
because it's the best cake I make, yet not many people like coconut.
That's true.
You know.
But I thought it was tasty.
You did, and your
know.
wife liked it, right?
She was okay with it. You know, she told me after you left that she really didn't like the cake at all.
It's a coconut.
She prefers pumpkin.
She really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time I'll make a pumpkin
All
gâteau
right,
if there is
that's
such
good.
a thing.
But then there were also, I guess that was it. Did you bring any wine? I think you.
I probably did.
Yeah, you
what
may
I
have
do
brought
is I
some
bring
wine.
wine, I hide it in your house, knowing that when I come back, that very wine will be there waiting for me.
That's true. For the
Yeah.
next, maybe
next event.
Easter, we'll bring you.
Exactly.
Okay.
What else is going
Yeah.
on? Oh, you had that another stand-up routine.
That's right. I entered a stand-up comedy contest in September down in Warwick, Rhode Island. I came in third. Out of
And there are only two
three
contestants,
people.
so that was
Yeah.
interesting. So.
That was pretty
Yeah.
good. It was
No, seriously, how many people? Because I wasn't at this event.
They were perhaps, no, this was the second one. The first one, there were 9 people, actually. So the prize was you get to do one more show. This was some kind of organization called Funny for Funds. They put on fundraisers, and they bring in comedians, and that's kind of how they raise their money. So they had a follow-up event, when was it, October? November?
Yeah, I think it was
Anyways,
November.
about a
Yeah.
month ago.
Yeah.
2 months ago. And so this time, instead of the 9 kind of novice comics, there were 4. I was really the only one that wasn't a trained professional. The other 3 had done it before. One guy did a full 1-hour set, so I went on with them. And it went okay. The first time was better because I really packed the house with my people.
Right.
So you get the the laughter just because you're there.
Right. When he
However-
goes on stage, that
Yeah.
elicits a lot of laughter to begin with,
Yeah.
the presence.
Right.
Which is good.
If
He's
you
a
walk on
neurotic,
stage-
middle-aged Jewish male.
Which is
Of
half
course.
my material.
Really,
Yeah.
it is. It's
I
got a
did
lot of
dog
good stuff.
material and neurotic Jewish men material. And that was
Yeah.
kind of. That
But
was
hey,
good on the
buddy, I'm
show.
happy you went up there and you did.
Yeah.
I hope to be at your. Is there another
I
event
might
coming
do
up?
one more actually,
All right.
also in Rhode Island.
Nice.
I don't like to do it too close to home.
Yep. For obvious
that-
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, death threats.
That
and
way you
stuff like
can't,
that. Yeah.
get there even if you want to get there.
Yeah.
It's too far.
Yeah, but good for you for
Yeah.
going up there and doing
Nice.
it. And you also joined the Brookline Community Band.
That's true, because like yourself, I play the trumpet. And perhaps you'll regale us with some kind of musical apparatus very soon, Brian. But so I played the trumpet in high school, and then I put it down for 40 years, and then I picked it up about a year ago, and I took some lessons, and I've been playing for about a year, and so I've been wanting to get into a band because playing in your room by yourself.
You joined some kind of jazz band.
People are yelling at you down the hall to stop playing at night. And I live in an apartment building. The dog is, howling, and my wife is, banging on
Very
the
thin
wall.
walls. Yeah, if you
And,
played well, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah,
but
so
it's,
I went to the
raise
peer
it to death.
school. So
Yeah.
it was me and a room full of high school age, because we're all at the same level. No, it was really
Very dominated. Yeah, you're 4 times their age, but I think you won out.
primarily it was adults though, and
Yeah.
I did get an invitation on that very night to play at the North End tree lighting ceremony, except it was canceled because of rain.
Actually, they invited them a day after the ceremony.
Yeah.
But
That's true, but
Yeah.
it's just nice to be invited.
It's nice to be invited, even though it was a day after the event.
That's true.
I don't think they
Yeah.
wanted you there, but that was just a polite way of saying
All right,
that.
well,
So it's good. So you have a lot going on.
Yeah,
You've auditioned
really.
for the jazz band.
Yeah.
And you've almost completed
Yeah.
your what is it called? The transition program. Not that you're transitioning.
I'm
but-
actually, I've been taking this, I've been working with this career coach to transition into something more interesting. So by day, I have this kind of day desk job. I don't think we talk about what we actually do here, do we?
Well, you can talk in
All right, so
general terms
basically I'm a
about it.
recruiter by day.
He's a recruiter.
And,
Wait, we have a phone call.
Oh my God, somebody's calling. Wait a minute, what happened? Pick it up. Is it too
It's
late?
too late, I think.
Hello? Larry and Ray. Sorry, we missed your call. Call back, please. I hang up.
How about that?
Wow.
I like
If
that.
we want to take a commercial break, by the way.
We certainly could, yeah. Somebody tried to call us. We're totally derailed.
Yeah, so
anyway, life coach
sometime-
thing.
I wonder who's trying to call us, by the way.
Somebody's good. There's like
Yeah.
4 people watching,
All right.
so.
I think it's almost time, though. Is it not?
In 5 seconds,
Yeah.
we're going to bring on our
This is a
very
very
special
structured
guest.
show.
Very structured.
Yeah. So at 5:10, which is 5:10. So today we haven't introduced you yet, but come on in. Come on over. Oh, change the thing.
Hold on, everybody
Oh,
remain calm.
oh,
No.
hold it. There we are. Okay, yeah. Pull over. Here we are
All right,
with
here we
Brian
go.
Core.
Brian Core, ladies and
All
gentlemen.
right, Brian Core, come in a little bit. Okay, Brian. Brian Core is with us today, joining us for our 10th show. He is the executive director of the Cambridge Peace Commission, according to my research.
That is correct.
Wow. And tonight's featured guest has a passion for peace, justice, and the American way.
In that order.
He is our very own Superman. How about that? And he's a very busy man. He has 3 jobs. Not only is he the executive director of the Cambridge Peace Commission, and by the way, he has 3 jobs. Ray can barely hold down 1 job.
Barely holding down one.
Barely, right?
Right.
Okay. So he is also the president of NACOL, the National Association for Civilian Oversight of Law
Wow.
Enforcement. And he is the owner of Cambridge Consulting Services Group. We don't know what that is. Perhaps he'll share
I think
that
it's
with
made
us.
up, but we'll find out
Yeah,
in
I
a
think
minute.
it's something musical, but we're going to learn about it. So we met Brian at the 30th anniversary party of CCTV back in October. He was just elected to the, I know I got this wrong, but he was just elected to the CCTV board. Is that more or less correct?
Nah.
Okay. And he gave a very... but-
Honorary board.
Honorary
Honorary
board.
board.
That's actually better.
Yeah, no power.
It's like
just
Larry's an
glory.
honorary comedian.
No responsibilities.
I could do this though.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, quite frankly, we're
is
only
good.
once a month. You can do the other 3 Sundays in this
Okay.
very time slot.
I'll
Right.
see if I can fit in.
And I'm sure you can't. You're too busy, as we just described. But you're welcome to.
We're very happy to have you on. I know
Right.
your life is filled with all kinds of fun things and interesting things and work things, and nice to squeeze in these 27
You want
minutes.
to tell him why we sought him out after he did his presentation?
Why? Why did
Because he
you-
was very enthusiastic. He was belting it out so they heard him in the back room, in the back row.
You have a presence.
And I have to say, we were impressed, so we thought we would at least ask you to come on. Not only that, but we had to fill a slot for December 16th.
Well, it's good to know because I'm bound to disappoint, but that's okay.
No,
Well-
we've been looking forward to having you on.
Well, that's good because we do set expectations low, do we not?
we do.
All right.
Over promise and under deliver is our motto.
Okay. So should we just jump into some of our questions?
You have a few questions of my
Okay.
own.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Brian, how did you what is your primary mission as the Peace Commissioner, kind of, if you don't mind telling us in general?
Yeah, well, in general, the Cambridge Peace Commission, officially the Cambridge Commission on Nuclear Disarmament and Peace Education.
That's the original.
That's the actual
Really?
full name.
Yeah.
Is broadly devoted to issues of peace and social justice, community building, and it has a long history. It goes back to the 1980s. So if you go back at that period, we were talking much more about nuclear war and
Sure.
conflicts. Maybe we can stop the big one. So this commission was founded, and over the years, it's done everything from sister cities to Martin
That's
Luther
right.
King Day commemoration. Coming up on Monday, January 21st, 11 a.m.,
Wow.
St. Peter's Episcopal Church, 838 Mass Ave. It'll be great.
Wow.
And,
Just 400 numbers away from this spot.
Exactly,
Wow.
just down
Right.
the street.
get a
Commemoration
walk
of
there
the
if you can.
Holocaust that we do every year, usually in April or May.
That's something.
Just to remind people about not just the history, but what's happening today in the world. And we, for 27 years, have done that. Last year was the first year we didn't actually have a survivor of the Holocaust. We had a child
Really?
of a survivor. A child
Really?
of a survivor.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We want people to hear that firsthand experience.
And when is that again?
That'll be the end of April, beginning of May.
Oh, that's
We haven't
great.
set the
And
date
taking
yet.
place again where? Just want to make
It
sure.
happens at the Tremont Street Shul, traditionally called Temple Beth Shalom,
Wow.
at 8 Tremont Street, just north of Broadway.
Okay. In
So-
Cambridge?
In Cambridge.
Okay, great.
So I do those things.
Fantastic.
When we have vigils and things
Yeah.
like that in the city, I'm often involved in
Wow,
that.
yep.
And then, of course, I have a volunteer group of
Mm-hmm.
commissioners who work with me to provide advice, support, help out in the community,
Yeah.
and really be part of that work of
Yeah.
Cambridge residents being engaged in city government.
Right.
So it's a little bit of everything.
And
Yeah.
nuclear disarmament in case something should arise.
Well, Somerville, Mayor Curtatone, every time they lose that football game at Thanksgiving, tensions start to rise.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have to make sure we keep the
In
peace.
fact, in Mary's household,
Mm-hmm.
every time his wife calls him for something, he ducks and covers. So
That's
There you
he's
go.
outside into it.
This desk right here is not so bad.
I
It's
know,
not bad
really.
at
I
all.
would feel protected.
Yeah.
We'll have to go in alphabetical order.
Yeah, whenever she asks me what am I planning to do today, I don't really want to give the full story because if she sees there's a gap of time available,
She'll jump on that
she'll
gap.
jump on that gap.
Yeah.
As she should. As
Yeah.
she should.
Yeah.
So what's the connection sort of between the police department, your role, and the citizens? Is it all kind of intertwined?
Well, partly I have another role.
Another
so
role.
I,
I'm getting hungry. Rolls.
I am also
use
the
another role.
director of the Police Review and Advisory Board,
Yep.
which is the city's civilian oversight agency. So I work with the police in a lot of capacities.
Yeah.
When there are problems or complaints, I work to help identify what went wrong, resolve those issues if it's mediation, or work with the police department to do an investigation. I also work collaboratively with the police department. I help support their police chaplaincy program, which responds to events in the community, supports officers and community members after traumatic events. But that's partly why I'm doing that national civilian oversight thing. So I'm the current president. I'm elected. It's basically a volunteer part-time job
Right.
to help lead this national organization. Because, Cambridge overall, we have our challenges, but we have a pretty good community here. But there are certainly places around the country where police-community relations are in dire straits.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely,
so it's
yeah.
all connected, trying
Yeah.
to create peace, support community, build connections,
Yeah.
and generally try to have a good time
Yeah.
while making the world a better place.
Nice. Wow.
See, that answers a question about what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding. Remember? You were asking-
What is the answer?
I don't know if there is an answer.
Because they're all connected.
They're somehow connected.
Yeah, right.
I
So-
think that's really funny.
Yeah. See? He never gets an
That
answer.
could be our motto.
Yeah.
So I was curious, because you've been with this group since 2008, correct? Did you get involved at all, if you recall, the incident with the police officer?
Oh, the beer summit.
The Bear Summit in Washington, D.C. with Barack Obama and the
You know,
officer
I
and the
wanted to
professor?
go, but
Yeah.
I had to wash my cat that
Yeah,
day.
no, seriously,
So, no.
were you involved at all or not involved?
No, I was not involved.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
at
yeah.
that point, I was just doing
Yeah.
the Peace Commission. So I started working
Yeah.
with the Police Review and Advisory Board
Okay.
a couple years after that.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
working for the city,
Yeah.
and I certainly saw what was happening, but
Yeah.
I was not directly involved. I'm still waiting for my beer. With,
I would love a cold beer right
What
about
kind of
now.
beer did they have at the summit? You
Oh, I
know?
think whatever you wanted,
I think
probably.
it was a Sam Adams, wasn't it?
I think they.
Was it during the summer? It was during the summer, right?
I'm sure it was American beer.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't German beer. It must have been a lager,
Yeah.
maybe a summer lager. I don't know. But yeah.
So I did look at your LinkedIn profile, and I want to get a snapshot into your life. I saw a lot of pictures of you with politicians, and I was wondering about your political inclinations. In fact, Raymond was wondering, do you have any plans to run for office?
I do not, because I am very lucky to be married to someone who has already run successfully for office. My
Oh,
wife,
wow.
Kathleen.
Oh,
Kelly.
wow.
And she's in our
Member
studio
of the-
audience
Wow,
as we
isn't that
speak.
incredible?
Hiding in the
Yeah.
corner.
Shout out, say something.
But,
Are you a political operative at this moment?
I'm in my third term on the school committee, and I'm vice chair of the Cambridge School Committee.
Wow.
yeah, so
So you don't want to have two politicians? at
no,
once.
no, I think that would be a
That would
little
be a lot.
complicated.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
we've seen that
Too many
happen in other
cooks.
places, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
What
But
James
I am
Carville.
involved in political activity. I'm the current chair of the Cambridge Democratic City Committee.
Oh, nice.
So it's interesting because I have to
Yeah.
keep my work life totally
Yeah.
separate from my political life.
Yeah.
So, but you know,
Yeah.
that's life in America.
That's
Absolutely,
tough, yeah.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite politician at all? Anybody?
You know, I love all my good
That's a
Democratic
good. It's a very
politicians.
Yeah, yeah,
democratic
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
For example, I love Mayor Kate. Well, I don't love, but my favorite was Mayor Curley, even though I was born 30 years after him.
Now, was that when he was in prison, or?
No, it was well the whole time because his whole platform was built like on corruption and overspending, much like our show actually.
Yeah.
And stuff. So yeah, he
I don't
I
was-
think
think
you
we
might be
overspend.
thinking about a different politician that's in the news a lot, who shall
Well,
remain
it's funny
nameless.
because the Curly effect is very similar to the Trump effect. It's going on. People are sort of, intertwining that. Not to get overly political, but
This is not a political show, by the way.
it really isn't, But there's an interesting quote though. One of his biographers, Mayor Curley, and I got this online today, called his tenure in office a disaster mitigated only by moments of farce. Think about that.
It's kind of like when Bobby Valentine was the manager of the Red Sox.
Exactly.
Right?
Very, very similar. But I love that quote, and again, it
Yeah.
reminded me of the show. So yeah.
So I understand you're originally from Detroit.
Originally, yeah.
Yep.
So are you still a Detroit Pistons fan, or are you
Well-
a Celtics fan? Because we did get beat last night.
So I
gotta
believe
bring that
that's basketball, right?
Basketball.
So I'm really not a sports person. When I was growing up, I did go to a couple of baseball
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
and there was this guy, Mark the Bird Fidrich,
Oh, yes.
who was a big star at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, my dad never cared about
Yeah.
sports.
Hey, phone call. Hold on. Maybe this is for you.
Maybe it's someone I know.
Okay. We missed it again. Hello? You think it's a false?
Maybe it's a false phone call, false
Maybe
setup.
we're getting.
It could be the Russians.
It could. Well, we better get the disarmament thing going.
That's true.
We have
Yeah.
some
But
very.
if they call, I can talk to them. So.
Do you speak Russian?
Well, I was a Russian
Yeah.
major in college.
Wow.
Really?
I've forgotten almost
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah. That's not Bolshevik.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
Да, это правда.
Let me say, borscht.
Yeah.
Борщ, да, это хорошо.
Yeah. Do you have? Well, you're not a big movie buff per se, but do you have a favorite movie that pits, Russia against the U.S.?
Well, not
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you, one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies
Yeah.
is Wings of Desire,
Oh.
which is
Whoa.
set in Cold War Berlin.
It's one of my top
Wow.
5 movies
Wow.
of all
Wow.
time. 1987.
Yeah.
Vin
Wenders.
Vin Wenders.
Yeah.
Black and white. Peter Falk is actually in it
Oh, wow.
as himself.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
telling you about that movie for
As
years.
himself,
As
Peter
himself.
Falk? He
Yeah.
plays
He's a
Peter-
fallen angel.
He's a fallen angel. Yeah.
Wow.
Really? Have you seen it? Studio audience?
Yeah.
No. Beautiful film.
Yes.
One of the most
Okay.
gorgeous
Yeah.
films you'll
Nice.
ever see. I believe it was 87.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. For a guy who doesn't watch a lot of film, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
good.
I like those foreign films.
Yeah.
I do too.
Me
Don't
too.
understand what's going on half the time. Oh, is that the guy from the beginning? I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
Visually stunning.
But I like going into experience where I don't know what's going to happen. It's not like pre-planned. There's
Right.
no format.
Yeah.
And
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
what's that like?
Yeah, anything goes.
It's like our show.
Kind of like right now.
Yeah, we had 2 callers that hung up on us. We got like
Yeah.
12 viewers. Nobody knows what's going on. We haven't eaten since
Well, we
yesterday.
like to play hard to get.
Which, and it's working pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah. So also, my understanding, Brian, you like to cycle.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah. Have you done any? What was it been your most exciting cycling trip that you've ever taken?
Well, that's a good question. You know, I don't know about the most exciting,
Yeah.
but I will say, I do 2 things.
Yeah.
I've always gone out on my own. I'll
Yeah.
go out for hours and just ride, and I love it.
Yeah, nice.
But in the last
Yeah.
3 or 4 years, I found a group.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
it's a
fantastic.
bunch of middle-aged folks like me. We
Yeah.
vary from, like, the youngest people are maybe
Yeah.
in their late 30s,
Yeah,
and a couple people, one guy's 70, who I
Wow,
cannot keep
yeah.
up with.
Yeah, wow.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, 70 years old, 20 some miles an hour on the bike.
Wow.
But we go out in a group and we have
Yeah.
a good time and
Yeah.
we laugh, and so I like to do that.
Where do you do you cycling?
Well, when I do it with the group, we
Yeah.
tend to meet down in Roslindale and often head south to the Blue Hills, or we'll
Okay.
head
Nice.
out to Dover, Sherborne,
Yeah.
sometimes down South Shore. We've
Okay.
gone as far down as Plymouth.
Yeah.
And when I'm on my own, I'll go just out.
Wow.
One day I went down to Providence and over to
Wow.
Worcester
Good
and
for
back.
you.
Get out
So,
of here.
yeah, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Really?
Wow. That's
When you find
That's
out-
my Superman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you wearing a cape as you're doing this?
Only on the Minuteman.
That's good.
Everybody had capes back then in the medieval
exactly.
days. You know,
Yeah,
they
capes
were
were
very
very
vogue.
popular.
Of course.
I've been working on my wig, but I
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
found one that's good with the helmet. And
You still have a powdered wig, do you not?
I do, I do. And my powder is out of town. It's just
Yeah.
sitting there, though. So I was hoping maybe New Year's Eve you could wear it.
That's,
Yeah,
good.
but yeah.
We might have a costume party.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Do you have another question for our guest before he jumps into his musical interlude?
Do you have a musical?
I do, and
Wow, wow, wow.
First of all,
I'm
what
a-
is this contraption you're holding?
Yes.
It's either a weird-looking chocolate bar, or let's see if we can. I don't know if we can.
Is it?
Can you zoom?
We
Is
can.
it a? What's the name of
That's
this?
better.
Is that, whoop.
Whoop.
Try to get in that frame. Somebody
I
quick.
think you're to the left. You're going to the left. Wait.
There we go.
There we
Oh,
are.
now hit it again, Raymond.
Hit it.
No, he had it. Okay.
There we are.
Beautiful.
What is that?
It's a Hohner melodica.
Wow.
So people who
Wait a
are
minute. Can we
older
say
than-
that on TV?
Yeah.
I guess we
who
can.
are older than us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you can, I don't think they still make them. It was a big thing a few generations ago. It was kind of
Wow.
went the way of
Wow.
the accordion.
Wow.
And so for people like me who aren't very good at a lot of musical instruments but love to play,
Yeah.
you just
Nice.
so do I
That is
try?
fantastic. Sure, I'll try it.
I like it. Larry plays these.
You know,
Wipe it
why-
down, you're gonna wipe it down?
I mean, it's up to you. You know,
Wipe
I
it
mean,
down.
Larry's taking many
it's flu
trumpet
season.
lessons.
The public health people would
That's true.
say
Let's
you
just
should
spell them.
probably spray it with something. But
Do you blow?
Yeah,
I have
you-
to push something?
You have to push. No, just blow, and then you have to push the key.
Okay.
Play chopsticks.
How do you play chopsticks? I forget.
I know how to eat with them. I forgot how to play it. Wow. Another anything goes first, ladies and gentlemen.
Those were the days.
Wow. That's pretty good. Who knew we could play
Stifle
that?
yourself, Larry.
Good, that was good.
You want to try?
No, it's all right. You know,
Come on, come
not
on.
enough hot air. You know,
You have to
This,
push.
it's like a collective activity.
Push and blow. I already cleaned
you
it.
can't say that in TV either.
I think he already did.
Okay, good
It
enough.
does chords, you
It's
know.
very nice.
It does.
So I
love it.
actually, I just got yesterday delivered a Yamaha keyboard.
Yeah.
This company I've been working for 20 years. This is the gift they gave me. I checked it out on eBay.
Ages 5 and up.
It's only really worth $89. I've been there 20
Yeah.
years, but still,
That's
I'm
like-
not complaining.
that's like
I'm not
$2 a
complaining.
year.
$450 a year.
I know. It's absurd. A man of your
Right.
stature.
But I have to say, it is a beautiful instrument. It's like it's a full size keyboard. It's
Wow.
88 keys, but for some reason it says 61. So
Well, it's a
not-
cheaper
I
version.
guess it's not a full size.
It's not a
keyboard.
grand Yamaha.
I think the 88 keys are
Right.
overrated.
The good news
Nobody
is
ever
I
uses the
can
whole
put on
88.
my Bose headset and I can
Yeah.
play in the
Right.
middle of the night and not bother no one.
Wow.
Except maybe your wife.
I
and
might
dog.
lose a night's sleep, but still.
So you can
Yeah.
play this then. If you can do that.
Yeah,
This is
well, I haven't
less
actually
keys.
started playing it yet. I haven't taken it out of the box.
Wow.
My mother, though, by the way, she was a piano teacher. She played from the age of
Yep.
7. She had a baby grand that was beautiful. And so we have it in our family.
That's
you have
great.
do you play an instrument?
I played the piano for a long time.
Nice.
and actually started, I think my grandmother started me off when I was 6.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is
Yeah,
good.
because she actually used to
Yeah.
invite people over for dinner on
Yeah.
Saturday nights,
Uh-huh.
and they'd play the piano
Oh, wow.
and sing songs.
Yeah,
and that was,
that's fantastic.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But Larry actually he pictures a campfire in his living room. We often sing around that. It
Yeah.
breaks a lot of fire codes, but it's worth it.
Yeah, and I've had to move a few extra times because
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
Right.
And I
Hey,
do.
you know,
Hey,
so-
by the way, Raymond, we've got 40 seconds to go.
I know. I was going to say that.
Time
Well,
flies when we're having fun.
Wow.
Likewise, guys, a great show. Thank you, Brian, and his lovely wife who's off camera. You want to come in and say hello or no? Want to get her on set?
It's up to you.
We had 12
You're welcome.
seconds to
Yeah,
get you
10
on set. Give a
seconds,
hello.
here she comes.
There's no such
Right in,
no
here
such
she
thing as
comes.
bad publicity,
All
folks.
right.